We are still in the last stages of this Bitcoin bull market, and no one really wants to admit that it's over. A lot of people are thinking that the Fed cutting interest rates is going to propel us into an incredible, never going to end bull market, that everything's going to go higher. While that might happen, the reality is that Bitcoin Dominance has been telling us for a couple of weeks now that we have already started the descent. We're already starting to land the plane for Bitcoin Dominance, which is where we start passing the baton from Bitcoin to Ethereum to Solana. I made a video about this. I'm going to share it at the end of this video as well. The main thing you need to know is that your bias is getting in the way of you actually securing profits. I'm going to be talking about all of this, where I think we are in the Bitcoin bull run, and where I think we're headed next year in this video here on Coin Bureau Trading. What's up? My name is Aaron Dishner from The Better Traders. You are watching Coin Bureau Trading. Go ahead and hit the like button. Subscribe if you have not already. We are almost there to 100,000 subs. This is taking too long. Like these videos, share the videos, subscribe if you haven't already. Okay, let's get into it. Now, Bitcoin Dominance, as you all know from Ben Cowan, infamously talking about Bitcoin Dominance literally every chance he gets, he has a valid point to do so. Because when Bitcoin Dominance is on the rise, we know, and we have now learned, thank you very much, Ben, that when Bitcoin Dominance is pumping, alts are usually going to be dumping. This has been one of the most difficult bull runs for altcoins. Admittedly so. We've seen 2020 and 2021 be an incredible time to trade alts. And before that, basically all of 2017, but really from March 2017 up until about January 2018 was an incredible extended bull market rally. So with all of these ideas of what a bull market rally should look like, everyone is looking at where we are right now, thinking, well, the same thing is going to happen. The same exact thing is going to happen again. We're going to see all this stuff happen just like before. While history often does not repeat itself, it does rhyme. And I'm not discounting the fact that we should see a really good quarter four for this year. But I think a lot of people's hopes and dreams are going to be dashed really fast because you are letting your emotions and your expectations take away, or rather infiltrate your bias. Let's just zoom out. There is a clear top on Bitcoin Dominance. While we could see Bitcoin Dominance make another pushback up, maybe to like 60%, and I'll explain why in a second, it's clear to me that this is a top. It should be the most. And I have no indicators here, not looking at anything. I will look at them, but I want to do this first with a naked chart. I know, turn off the lights. I know. We have another top right here. Very, very clear top with a massive upper wick. And again, we're on the weekly time frame here for Bitcoin Dominance. This is also a very clear top. We could also argue that this is a top right here too in 2019. But this is the one that we can see posthumously, can we say that? No. It's basically after the fact that this saw a massive decline short term and then an even greater decline, down 45% over 18 weeks. The time before that, where things really started to shift, was back here. Note, March 2017. I just gave you 3 different date ranges. March 2017, over here, December or January 2021, this is where we saw alts really rip and roar. And here we are with a very weak altcoin bull market. But I want to start back over here first. You have to understand a couple of things about where we've been to understand where we are and where we're most likely to go next before you can start throwing around accusations of, well, this is a terrible bull market. To be honest, it's been a really good market for Bitcoin. For Ethereum, parts of it have been okay. Solana has been pretty decent if you think about where it's been and where we are now. The reality is that most coins have already made their moves. We'll start to see that rotation into others, but look at what happened back over here. We saw Bitcoin Dominance really starting to drop. What happened? Well, during this period, we saw other coins start to materialize and gain a larger market cap dominance. Can you imagine Bitcoin Dominance at 95%? I know Ben Cowan must be like drooling thinking about this, right? But in all honesty, mega high Bitcoin Dominance means that the market is pretty much only caring about Bitcoin. As soon as it starts to lose strength and starts to fall aggressively, yes, there will be dips and there will be pullbacks real quick, but eventually we will see Bitcoin Dominance fall further and further and further until it hits a bottom range. So we're just going to say 36% just to make this a nice round number. Back over here, 2018, okay? Now we're going to fast forward basically to the end of 2020 over here to 21, and then we have a top. Note that this previous top here in November 2020 was at, and I'm going to go ahead and just get that Pico top right there, 73.63% for Bitcoin dominance. What happened after that is we saw a steep decline, an even steeper drop, and then in May 2021, we had a brutal sell-off. There was a bear market summer, and then we all know what happened after that. We saw Bitcoin come back to life in September, October, November, topped out, and then it started to go down. The main thing, though, which is crazy, is that we saw Bitcoin dominance fall down to a low here of, we'll just say 39.6%. Really close to the low we saw back over here in 2017. So not only do we have a base case to say, well, 96% is insane. We're never going to see that again. And I agree, we're not. The crypto market cap has become so diluted with so many other coins, not to even mention and include meme coins that can be literally created at the drop of a hat. We're seeing lower highs from the 2017 rally and over here, the 2020 rally or 2021 rally. We're also seeing higher lows. So it's starting to constrict. So if we were to say, and to zoom over here, that this is the actual top for this cycle's bull market at 66%, 66.03%, it actually makes a pretty good argument. If you think about it, again, we've had so many more coins being introduced. So it makes sense that our peak for Bitcoin dominance will drop as time goes on because the crypto market cap is continually being diluted. Not that this is a bad thing, it just is. So we also have the other side. We're not seeing these extreme whips and pumps and dumps in terms of Bitcoin dominance. If you think about the 2018 increase in Bitcoin dominance was a lot, but look at how fast this happened. This is the weekly time frame. Compare that to back over here, 2022 November. This is on a steady uptrend for 952 days. Brutal. So what are we going to expect now? Well, to be honest, I think it also makes sense not to look at this 39% range as a bottom, but maybe somewhere like here, 42% as a bottom, which means that we should see Bitcoin dominance continue to fall, but it won't fall as much, I think. And the fact is that because Bitcoin dominance has clearly put in a top here, yes, there was a false ascent and it moved up higher. Could this be a false ascent? Maybe. I doubt it though, just because of how drawn out this is. And also because of how dominance has been shifting. Clearly in favor of Ethereum dominance on the weekly time frame, as you can see, ever since basically the beginning of May. And then more recently, Solana dominance has been slurping up the dominance. So looking over here at Bitcoin dominance, it is clear to me, in my opinion, that 66.03%, that was the peak for this cycle for Bitcoin dominance, which means that the next cycle, we might see it peak out at maybe 60%. I don't know. It's too early to tell. Like that's literally 4 or 5 years away, 4 years away. So because I believe that we're seeing this reduction in volatility from Bitcoin dominance, it makes this move even more important. But there's one thing I want to share with you that's extremely important that happened last time that is repeating right now. But before I get to that, I need to direct your attention to the description below and also the pinned comments. Check out Femex, check out BTC.D. I still need to figure out how to say that. I really don't know. And Tubit, because there are all of these trading bonuses included. At Femex, I'm doing some copy trading right now. I've done pretty well. I've made a video about this. Follow at your own risk, follow at your own peril, because I'm a human, I will make mistakes. I've done pretty well. I have some positions open right now because I'm buying the dip, but again, this is how I trade. It's usually pretty quick and I'm trying to get in and trying to get out quickly. I also have fairly tight stop losses as well. So I have some positions open right now that probably won't be open in the day or two because I like to just take things quickly. Get out of positions fast. So if you want to follow me, you can do that. Again, the link is to sign up first for Femex and then look for me in the copy trading section. The other exchanges to check out, BTC.D is a new partner for Coin Bureau. It's just awesome. They have some incredible bonuses set up and I'm excited about other developments that we will be working on with them, as well as Tubit. Tubit is unique because they are a non-KYC requiring exchange. You can deposit a lot of money and you can withdraw up to $20,000, 20,000 USDT per day without sharing your information. And they do this all legally. I know. And they have lots of generous bonuses, over 15,000 USDT. There are more deals to check out at the Coin Bureau website. If you go there, click on the deals button. The first thing to check out is the Coin Bureau Club. It's a Discord server that has so much more to it. Dan, my co-host on this channel, is posting alpha regularly, as well as doing coin reviews. Guy and Nick are also posting there as well. It is a thriving community that is growing and sharing and learning all together. There are also other partners and tools to check out, whether it's exchanges, whether it's wallets, and there's also a 10% off discount for our course, 15 Minutes to Financial Freedom at the Better Traders. So I want to go back to talk about what's a little bit, not jarring, but something to pay attention to for sure this time around. And that thing to pay attention to is happening and has already happened back over here. Can you see it? So we have a top and we have a little bit of a sagging or like a falling down. I would not say that this top is basically like this one right here. If anything, what's happening right now is extremely reminiscent of what happened over here. So in May 2020, we saw Bitcoin dominance fall about 14%, only for it to go right back up and even higher, eventually topping out because Bitcoin was rallying hard. Pay attention to that part. And then we saw alts go crazy, and then Bitcoin dominance started to fall a lot. If you look at this pattern right here, and then we zip ahead to where we are right now, it looks really similar. If we see Bitcoin's price action move up higher, which honestly, that's what I am expecting. I know that there are some people that are bearish, and that's okay. I am bearish because I believe that we are near the end of this bull market, but I do believe that we will see Bitcoin heading up higher. If we just look at our 2025 fibs, we have a target of resistance here at 121K. There's still 139K. The closer we get to November, in my opinion, the further down my targets are going to be moving. No longer am I expecting us to top out at 174,000 or 173,000. I think even just up here at 150,000 would be very generous, given how price action is really slow right now. But the thing you have to take into account, whatever the target's going to be, is that if you look at price action for Bitcoin back over here, when it really started to rally and get exciting back in October, November, all this stuff that was happening, we saw the inverse happen over here on Bitcoin dominance. So looking at that same period, it was after that. We saw Bitcoin dominance moving up in September, October, November, and then finally December, it peaked out. So I'm actually expecting Bitcoin dominance to move up with the price of Bitcoin as it moves up to new all-time highs. Again, it's extremely important for you to see and to recognize that we have two significant levels of resistance. The first one is this 2022 level. So we have 173 if things get out of control, which I'm not expecting. And then we have 2025 fibs that are taken from here in January to here in April. We have seen so many attempts at 121 and above 121. This is still a very difficult level for Bitcoin to break. So once it does, I expect the price to go up pretty quickly. It'll probably respect 139K, maybe go up a little bit more. But honestly, by the time this happens, I think that's going to be it. I think we might see something like this where it's quick and we get a little bit of this and then finally it's done. So thinking about dominance, thinking about the patterns that we're looking at now that are very reminiscent of what we saw before, what does that mean for everything else? Well, what it means for everything else is right over here with stablecoin dominance. And this is the chart you should be paying attention to the most. When we see a bear market, we will see stablecoin dominance increase dramatically, wildly. Look at the date. We have January 2021. We saw stablecoin dominance do nothing until finally it absolutely pumped. Why did it pump during this period? Because there was a massive pullback the week of May 17th, 2021. Let's go back, May 17th, 2021. When we see Bitcoin have a significant pullback, we will see a significant increase in stablecoins. Why? Because the market is heavily allocating to stablecoins. This is going to be the first warning shot. Then, of course, we might see another rally, which is what we saw in July. If we go back over here, so here's July. Late July, we see a nice little rally for BTC, goes up a little bit higher, and then that's the top in November. So looking at stablecoin dominance during that same period, we see it start to rally and we see it go up higher and higher. Oops, sorry. My bad. Here we go, July. And then it falls down as Bitcoin rallies. And then we have November. And then we see it absolutely explode, moving up 347% from 3% to 16%. The one thing I am expecting to happen this time around with stablecoin dominance is not what I just shared about Bitcoin dominance with these highs being lower and the lows being higher. I actually think that we're going to see a bigger flight to safety. We'll probably see stablecoin dominance get back up to 16%, maybe even higher. Personally, I think that a lot of people are unprepared for the idea of a bear market coming. And I know a lot of people don't like this. I really don't like talking about it, but I feel like it's my responsibility to share my thoughts openly and freely. You feel free to disagree. It's totally fine. But think about where we are now compared to where we've been. We have seen a huge injection of stable coins into the crypto market cap. Think back to 2019. Stablecoin dominance was just 1%. Now we're looking at a quote-unquote floor of 4.92%. Keep that level in mind just a second. So I actually believe that we're going to see stablecoin dominance fall down here to about 5%, and then that will correlate to Bitcoin's price action moving up to higher highs. That will correlate to Bitcoin dominance moving up because the dominance pie has to shift somewhere, right? So when we see Bitcoin dominance being extremely bullish, everything is going to be pivoting to Bitcoin as it goes higher. If we see Bitcoin dominance rising and stablecoin dominance going down, that means watch Bitcoin. I know you want to pile into alts, watch Bitcoin. And then when we see stablecoin dominance hit this level of 5%, my expectation is that we're going to see it end up somewhere around 16%, maybe even 19%. It just depends on how bad things get. But I do believe that we are going to be heading into a bottom year. I made a video about this on my own channel a while ago, and I still think it bears repeating. If we go over here, top, bottom, recovery, rally. This has worked out insanely well. This has been a recovery year here in 2023 after the bottom year. We have a rally year and we have a top year. That's where we're in right now, which means that the next year is going to be a bottoming year. So 2026, we should be bottoming. So again, to share, much to my dismay, and I don't really want to share it, but topping out somewhere around $150,000 and seeing some sort of a bottoming around 75%, maybe 70%. Let's just be nice and say 70%, and that puts Bitcoin about 43,000. Honestly, I think it's going to be about here. It's about 75%. This is what I'm expecting, and we'll top out in November, bottom out over here in November, and everyone will be so depressed. Now you think that's no way, man. That can't happen because November, like the end of the year, is so bullish for crypto. Oh, I know. Except in a bottoming year, like in 2022, and except in a bottoming year, like in 2018. Again, 4 years ago, and then 8 years ago. You guys have to understand, I'm not trying to be a really annoying perma-bear. I don't like being bearish. I mean, the handle down there for X, it says Moonin Papa. So understand, I'm doing this, I'm sharing this with you just to kind of keep you from getting sucked into the hopium right now. Yes, I do expect Bitcoin to go higher. Yes, I do think that Bitcoin dominance will increase. Yes, that will adversely affect alts when it starts to go up higher because alts will start to panic as Bitcoin dominance shoots up. But if we see something similar, which again, I expect to see something similar back over here to 2020, we will see Bitcoin dominance probably top out around 64%. If it goes crazy, maybe 63% would be better, but we'll see it top out and then we'll see it start to lose. And then we'll see dominance flow into others, Solana, Tron, XLM. Basically, the farther down you get on the list, the more green things will get because things are going to get absolutely insane. I still believe we're going to see that transfer away from Bitcoin to alts. We have an explosive end of year, and that's that. The other thing I want to share with you real quick, that's really important that I'm leaving at the very end for all of you people that are amazing and patient and you've already subscribed, you've already liked the video. Just understand, we saw on the weekly time frame for the first time since, I have to make this so much bigger. I'm talking about right here, the week of August the 18th. This is the first time we've seen weekly RSI oversold since September 2021. Before that, we saw some massively oversold moments. I don't think we're going to see the wild ups and downs here like we've seen in the past for Bitcoin dominance. I don't think we're going to see this absolutely rocket down. But keep in mind, if we do see some sort of crazy rally, pay attention to Bitcoin dominance, because the deeper it goes, I doubt it will go below 5 again, ever. But when it does, pay attention to when it snaps back above 25, especially on the weekly. I have so much more information to share with you guys. And the reality is that you guys are getting so much out of this channel by liking videos, subscribing, turning on your notifications, and sharing these videos with other people. I could totally be wrong. So happy to be wrong. You guys have no idea. But the reality is that I've already scaled in to Bitcoin back in 2022. I'm happy. If Bitcoin goes up even more, cool. I'm not going to sell everything, but you better believe that I'm going to be taking some profits the closer we get to the end of this year, because I'm sticking to my trading plan, and I suggest you do the same. You can't follow every talking head on YouTube or X, even if they have a huge following. That does not mean that they are really good at what they do. They're really good at engagement, but they may not be a great trader or an investor. You have to make your own decisions. So the main thing to think about, and again, I said this in the last video, assess where you are in terms of your investment strategy. Are you at the point where you could sell some and start to be, improving your quality of life and feeling comfortable? Are you almost there? And I will tell you this, once prices start to go up, a lot of you will abandon your trading thesis. A lot of you will move your take profit targets higher and higher, because you're going to be feeling this sense of greed welling up inside of you. I mean, I'm not going to say what to do, but I'm telling you from experience, it will happen. It is so hard to scale out of positions when everyone is screaming for higher and higher. It's going to feel so early when you start to take out some profits, and you're going to feel like you're the worst trader in the world because the price is going to go up higher and higher. You will not be able to sell the Pico top. You won't be able to do it. You won't. Only like 0.001% of the people actually time the tops and the bottoms. Most people the smart people will say, all of you subscribers should be the ones that are scaling out of positions as prices are going higher, not scaling out of positions as prices are crashing after doing this insane parabolic blow off top. Consider this stuff. Take it seriously. This is your portfolio we're talking about after all. Now, I want you to watch this video about why I think we're going to see a huge rotation into Solana because of the big moves that are happening with Solana dominance. And until the next time, you know what to do. Stay awesome and stay in the green. Peace.